In this screencast, I want to show you how to use Google Calendar to schedule your required classes, and also how to create your meeting log so that you can so that we can keep track of our meetings throughout the semester. Okay, so first thing, let's add the required classes to our Google Calendar. You have several required classes that your attendance is expected, so we want to make sure that we get those into our calendar. So I have directions down here. I'll show you how to do this. I'll walk you through these directions here so that you can kind of see how I'm doing this. So I'm on my ASU page. On the left hand side here I've got a link to my calendar. Okay, and I use my calendar a lot, so you kind of see how I have mine. I've got my classes, I've got some of my family birthday and anniversary and things like that. So I use it regularly. You may or may not use it regularly, but I want to just make sure that you know how to use it for this. Set some reminders so that you just ensure that you are where you're supposed to be for this class. Okay, so we've got some required classes, January 15th, January 20th. Okay, we're going to add each of those into our calendar here. So first thing you'll do is go to the date. I like to just go to January 15th and I'll double click on it. Okay, and what I want to do is in the title I can say EDT180 required class. Okay, just give it a title. Now down here it's giving me a full date. By default it sets the full date. I'm going to uncheck this all day box, and then I'll set my time for whatever time my class is. Okay, so if this is a 4 o'clock to 4:50 class, then I can change it there. Okay, location, I mean, you know where the class is, but you can also always put in Payne Hall room 120. Okay, and then you can come down here and add notifications. This is a good one so that you can kind of get pop-up notifications. You can also get email notifications. So however you like to get notifications, if you have your ASU Gmail set up on your phone, you could do a pop-up, or you could say, all right, I'm going to send an email notification and I want to make sure that I send it 2 hours ahead of time. That way I'll see it and I'll be able to know that I have to get to class on time. Okay, so I will set that. I can add another notification if I also want to do a pop-up, maybe 30 minutes ahead of time. I can do that as well. Okay, and I'll just keep everything else the same, and I'll click save, and there it is. It shows up on my class, or on my calendar. Now if I made a mistake, I can go and click on it and I can edit event, and maybe it wasn't 4 to 4:50, but it was 3 to 3:50, and I could do that, save, and it shows up. Okay, if I don't like that one at all, I can just delete it altogether. Okay, so you'll go ahead and you'll do the same process for each of those 5 dates. Okay, those this is for Dr. Kasicki's class. If you're in a different class, you may have different dates. Okay, but you'll want to do that for all 5 of the required classes, or however many required classes you have. The next thing you're going to do is we want to create a meeting log. Okay, we're going to have 3 one-on-one meetings throughout the semester, and we're going to keep track of our discussions during that meeting. Okay, so go ahead and click on the link here, and this will take you to a template. Now you're going to go ahead and make your own copy of it, and I have directions up here on how to make your own copy. So you go to File, Make a Copy. Okay, you will take out this first part, Copy of Name, and you're going to put your name in there. So, you know, John Smith, EDT180 meeting log. Okay, whatever your name is, you'll put it there. First and last name, whatever you like to be called. If you have a shortened version of your name, then put the name that you prefer me to address you by there. Okay, and then say OK, and you'll see that it opens up into a new document, John Smith EDT meeting log. Now you notice here, if I try to click on this and type, it won't let me type into it at all, but this new copy that I made, I can type into that, and the reason you can do that is because it's now your copy. Okay, so we've got these directions down. You can add your meeting dates, which we'll get to in the next part of the screencast. But the important thing is that you want to share it with your instructor. Okay, so if you're with me, you'll share it with my email address. If you're with the other instructor, you'll with Dr. Legacy, you'll add it, share it with her. Now, to share the document, come up here to this blue button, click on the share button. Now, by default, Google Docs is set to private so that only you can view it. We're going to share. I'm going to have you share it with your instructor so that it's between you and the instructor, so that you have this log that is available, both of you, to modify. So you'll add your instructor's email address in there, either Todd Kosicki or Jane Legacy. Okay, make sure that they can edit. Okay, so you don't have to change that. And then I'm just going to, you can notify people through email, so keep that checked. If you want to put in a note, your favorite color, how excited you are to be in the class, anything like that, you can add a note that'll be on the email that's sent to me. But when you're ready, go ahead and click the send button. Okay, and it says shared with one person. Right. Now you and I both have access to it. Now, so after you're all finished with that, you can just delete all of this information. You don't need it anymore. And you will then submit this link into Blackboard. Okay, so I'm going to, now that I have made all my changes, I've shared it with my instructor, I'll come up here, I will copy the URL. Okay, and back in my Blackboard day 2, okay, I will come down to the very bottom where it says meeting log. I'll go to module 1 meeting log. Okay, I'll come in here where it says write submission. I'll click on that, and I can, I'll probably have to use keyboard shortcuts. So if you're on a Windows computer, Control C. If you're on a Mac, Command C, or Command V, I'm sorry, Windows Command Control V. Okay, and you just want to paste that link in there into the write submission area and submit. Okay, so that's how you'll submit it. I'll have access to it now, and that's how I can give you credit for the assignment. Okay, so that is the meeting log portion. Now the last part is to schedule your one-on-one meetings. This is going to be similar to scheduling your required classes, but there is a different twist to it, so I'll show you how to do that right now. First thing you want to do is go up to the left-hand side here where it says meeting schedule. Click on that to open it. Okay. At this point it's blank, but I'll be populating it, or your instructor will be populating it over the next couple days, and each of you will have a date in there. And date and time, you'll have 3 dates. So if my name was right here, okay, that means my one-on-one meetings would be 1/22, 2/26, and 4/1. If I was over here, it means I would have these 3 dates at 12 o'clock to 12:10 time slot. Okay. What I need to do now is go in and schedule these 3 dates, okay, for my 12 o'clock time slot. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to go back to my calendar. Okay, my first date was 2/1, so February 1st. I'll have to go to find February 1st. Okay, there it is. I will double click on it, and I'm going to put my name, so John Smith. You'll put your name. One-on-one meeting. It's important that you put your name in here. So that because you're going to share this with me, it's important that you put it in there so that I know who the one-on-one meeting is. So John Smith meeting, one-on-one meeting with Dr. Kosicki or Dr. Legacy or whoever your instructor is. Okay. Now the same thing you'll do here, instead of all day, you'll change it to your time. Okay, mine was, let's see, mine was going to be right here. Mine was going to be 12 o'clock to 12:10. So I will change it to 12 o'clock to 12:10. Same thing. It'll be pane building 120. Okay. Now, if you can't for some reason make if you need to reschedule your meeting and it's going to be maybe in my office or something like that, then we can always change that to at a later time. But we'll do pane building room 120. Again, you can add notifications. Okay, so I can do an email maybe for 2 hours before, pop up maybe 30 minutes before. Okay. And what I want you to do here is add an attachment. Okay, and what you're going to do for your attachment here is you're going to go to your Google Drive and you're going to attach your meeting log. Okay, so I created my John Smith meeting log. I will select it, and that attaches it to this calendar invite. And the purpose for that is so that when I open up the calendar invite, I'll see your meeting log right there. Okay. Now the last thing you want to do is make sure that you invite me, and this is important. Okay, this is how you get credit for this assignment. You want to make sure that you invite me or Dr. Legacy, whoever your instructor is for this class. So you'll put the email address for your instructor. Okay. All right. And add them. Okay, that adds me as a guest to the meeting, and the purpose for this is so that it shows up on my calendar as well. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I do add the instructor, and I'll click save. Okay, and let's see, John Smith, there it is. It shows up on my calendar. Okay, so you want to, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to do that for each of the 3 dates. So I did it for February 1st. I'll also do it for March 14th and May 8th. Okay, if this is a different semester, obviously the dates may look different, but you'll want to add them for your 3 dates for your time slot. Okay, so make sure that you do follow those same steps for each of the 3 meetings. Okay, double checking that you add the date, the time, the 10-minute time block, the location, attach your meeting log, okay, which is just a Google document. If you want to put notifications, you can put notifications, and then make sure that you add me as a guest. Okay, so that is how you will add your required classes, how you will create your meeting log, and then how you will schedule your one-on-one meetings. Okay, you notice that there's a little bit difference between scheduling your required classes and scheduling your one-on-one meetings. The required classes are just on your calendar. You don't share those with me. You don't invite me as a guest. Okay, but you will invite me as a guest on the one-on-one meetings. Okay, and then make sure that you submit your meeting log, which we did up here. Make sure you submit a link to that in Blackboard. So how you're graded for this module is I will look at that you submitted the meeting log in here, and then I'll also check my calendar to make sure that you have successfully scheduled all 3 of your one-on-one meetings. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, thank you, and I will see you in the next screencast.